The Witch. This came out in 2015. This is my first time actually watching this movie, so hopefully you guys enjoy this review. Of course, this is an hour and 33 minutes long. It's an R-rated movie, a mystery horror movie, of course, and written and directed by Robert Eggers, who's also known for his work upcoming in The Lighthouse. Now, the story of this is about a family in the 1630s. New England is torn apart by the forces of witchcraft, black magic, and also possession. Starting off with the good points. Now, the good points about this movie is, first off, I want to talk about the timeline. The period which this movie is set in, obviously the 1630s, it really felt and looked like it was set in that period of time. Not only that, obviously the language which they were speaking in, it was obviously old time language, not modern language, and it really felt and made the movie special. Not only that, the story in this movie as well, I think it was great, original, and I love the fact that it's been made from obviously old tales, rumours and stories, as well as old diaries which they've recovered and made their own sort of story out of it. Technically, I think this movie was amazing, especially when it comes to the cinematography. You could tell this movie was shot perfectly from the beginning. You get some really good long shots, wide shots, a different range of camera use in this movie. It really felt like an art house sort of independent type movie, which was really great. Then we go on to the editing. Of course, it was really on point because it has to build a certain tone, a certain mood. The pacing was good when it comes to the editing. It wasn't all fast cuts. You got them very long shots which really caused tension and suspense throughout. It really was great. And then not only that, we have the costume design and the lighting. I really want to give great applause to them. Color grading in this movie, I feel it really matched the tone of the movie and the moods of the family in this movie. Obviously depressed, sad, grieving, all the tones of the movie which really matched the color grading, which was dark. And obviously the use of lighting in this movie as well, I thought was absolutely excellent. It also has a haunting score which really adds to the movie and also signifies what this movie is all about. When it comes to horror movies, not a lot of them have great scores, and this one, I do think the score complements the movie. I have to give massive credit to the director, of course, Robert Eggers. I really did enjoy what he did in this movie with the use of suspense and tension. I really did think he done a perfect job when it comes to that. Getting you thinking and worried about what's going to happen in the movie was one big thing I had with this movie. I was wondering what was going to happen next, and it really got me on the edge of my seat, really worried about this family. Just in general, the overall feel of the movie, the director deserves a lot of credit. A lot of people tend to moan about the script when it comes to this movie. I actually generally felt the script fit perfectly for this type of movie. Obviously the language which they're speaking, obviously in that time, was great, but not only that, some of the quotes and the conversations that they had, I felt it was quite dramatic and it really adds to the movie. Obviously in some parts of the movie it can be a little bit basic, but in that period of time it can sort of be understandable. This movie had tons of significations and connotations. From me coming from a media background, there was a lot of obviously symbolism when it comes to certain animals, colours, obviously just symbols in general. There is tons in this movie. A lot of it is signification. It really got me guessing and thinking. Great performances obviously from this cast, but not just great performances. I really do want to give credit to the cast in general, because I feel like they've done a great job with picking this cast. First off, we start with Anya Taylor-Joy, who I know from Split and Glass. She was really great in the movies, but coming into this as Thomasine, I really did enjoy her. She was the young girl in this movie, really takes a lot of responsibility in this movie, and obviously she's a main part of this movie. She really gave a great performance, a lot of credit to her. Alongside her, with another top performance, is the father figure played by Ralph Ineson. He plays William the father, and really these two are really great on the screen together. Alongside them, we have the mum played by Kate Dickie as Catherine. I did enjoy her in some parts. She had a lot of drama as well, but really she was quite a character which I was on and off with. I think it was obviously due to the character description of obviously the story. She had to fit into this certain character mold, which obviously you can find quite irritating, but that's the purpose of the character, of course. The last character I want to give big props to is Caleb, played by Harvey Scrimshaw. I really did enjoy this. the character and the person, the performance in general. A lot of people tend to not like this character, but really there was one scene with this guy, or this young boy, and it really just took my breath away. I didn't know what was happening. I really was worrying for the kid, and it was just superb. You guys will know if you've definitely watched it, but this is non-spoiler, of course. The way they kept the witch from not being seen so much, and the way they used it when it was seen, was just so superb. It really was. It also felt like an Alien movie. If you think of the original Alien, where it weren't seen as much, but the way they used the alien, it sort of felt like that in this movie, which is great. The use of disturbing imagery in this movie is awesome. I really think they went over the top and going out of their boundary with this movie, especially with some of the scenes where I'm going to give a hint. There's a baby scene, and I was like, what the hell just happened? They really put a lot into this movie. It's great. A lot of people will complain that this movie is not horror, and the thing that I love about this movie is its uniqueness to the genre. It doesn't have to be classic horror, and that's what this does. It turns into sort of a mystery alongside horror, and it really gets you guessing, but all the drama's added alongside with that, and it really is great. It's a great mixture, a great blend, which makes it unique. The use of the family in this movie, in my opinion, was used correctly. It really was great because all the family members were suspecting each other from what happens in this movie. They're thinking, oh, did she do it? Did he do it? There's a lot of questioning and a lot of mistrust, and it also leads to the family pretty much breaking apart. It's just so great the way the mind games work, and it's so realistic as well. This movie doesn't go for the normal horror conventions, the cliches of music and jump scares. It has a plan, it sticks with it, and I loved every bit of it. On to the bad points. Now, the bad points about this movie are both nitpicky ones. It could be counted for and against and have great debates with this movie, but for me, some parts of the movie were quite predictable, especially the final twist in the movie. It was greatly executed, but really I predicted it sort of halfway through the movie, and I'm sure a lot of other people did as well, which can be quite concerning to some people. It didn't really bother me as much as it would others, but I did feel like I had to add it into the bad points. And the final bad point of this movie is the movie does need a second watch, in my opinion. Some people will get it first off, but I feel like a second watch of this movie, like I did, really you get to appreciate more, as well as see a lot more and understand a lot more when it comes to this movie, because some things can be mind-boggling. You can miss some things, be confused by some things. It's only natural. We all got different brains and way of analysing stuff, so I do recommend a second watch. So guys, it's rating time. Let's have a look at what the critics had to rate this movie. We have IMDb giving it a 7 out of 10. We have Rotten Tomatoes giving it a 90%, and Metacritic giving it a 83. My rating for this movie is an 8.5 out of 10. That makes this totally fucking awesome. Guys, overall this movie was an awesome addition to the horror genre, in my opinion. I think it adds so much which other horror movies don't really try to do now. It really went over the boundaries and tried to push it to really become something successful. I really enjoyed the whole thing about this movie. It was so great, and I really did enjoy analysing it. But the purpose of this movie, I felt it was really to make you feel uneasy, concerned, disturbed, all them type of things. I feel like they've done a great job of doing that with what they used in this movie. Even the bad points, as I've already mentioned, can be countered and be very picky excuses and bad points in a way. It's not a perfect movie. I'm not going to go up there with the 9s and the 10s and stuff, but it is an amazing movie for the horror genre, which I do recommend you watch if you haven't already. So guys, an 8.5 out of 10 for The Witch from me. Don't forget to let me know your ratings and thoughts in the comment section down below of this movie. I want to get you guys a bit more involved on the channel. Let me know what you think about the movies and ratings as well. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. But not only that, voting for what videos you want next on the channel. Getting you guys involved on the channel. What movies do you like? What movies do you want me to review? What franchises do you want me to rank? All that sort of stuff. Follow me on Twitter at jspring94. I tend to do polls on Twitter where you can vote for the next videos. But if you also have recommendations, you can comment below as well, of course. Especially on this best of horror series, I'm trying to get as many horror movies out there which you guys want me to review, as well as some I enjoy as well. So there may be ones just like this one which I've never seen before, which I really was interested in, and I'm really glad I got to review it for you guys. So guys, please do try to get involved. Thank you for all the support. It is really good to be back on YouTube after a 2-week break, which has been absolutely hectic. I've just found out, of course, I'm going to be a father, I did reveal the gender on my Twitter. Of course, if you guys follow me on Twitter, you'll know. I'm really stoked and I just can't wait. There's so much going on right now. I've got so much planned for you guys, so stay tuned. Thank you very much for watching. I've been me, you've been you, and I'll see you next time, guys, on Talking with Jay Springer.